Part 1. Introduction and Historical Background. Point 1. Introduction. The history of Indian spiritual thought is a mosaic of profound philosophies, noble sages, and timeless paths. Among the greatest spiritual luminaries stands Vardhamana Mahavira, the 24th Tirthankara of Jainism. Revered not as a creator god but as an enlightened teacher, Mahavira's life and teachings form the foundation of Jain Dharma, one of the world's oldest religions that has continued to influence Indian culture and global spiritual ethics for over 2,500 years. Jainism, or Jain Dharma, emphasizes the eternal principles of Ahimsa, non-violence; Satya, truth; Asteya, non-stealing; Brahmacharya, chastity; Aparigraha, non-possessiveness. These 5 vows, along with its unique worldview, have made Jainism a deeply introspective, non-theistic, and ethical path to liberation. 1. The historical understanding of Mahavira's life and Jain philosophy comes from Jain Agamas, scriptural texts passed down orally, later written in Ardhamagadha Prakrit and Sanskrit, biographies like Kalpa Sutra by Bhadrabahu, inscriptions and archaeological evidence from ancient India, references in Buddhist texts and writings of foreign travelers like the Greeks and Chinese pilgrims. While the Jain tradition itself maintains a consistent timeline, historical reconstructions by modern scholars also align closely with Mahavira's life in the 6th century BCE, around the same time as the Buddha. 1.4. Jainism before Mahavira. Though Mahavira is considered the most influential figure in Jainism, he was not its founder. Jainism acknowledges a lineage of 23 previous Tirthankaras, including Rishabhanatha, the first, and Parshvanatha, the 23rd. Parshvanatha, who lived about 250 years before Mahavira, taught a fourfold code of conduct that Mahavira later expanded into the 5 great vows. This continuity shows that Jainism is not a breakaway tradition, but a continuous spiritual path rooted in ancient Indian wisdom. 1. 5 Jainism in the 6th century BCE, a time of spiritual renaissance. The 6th century BCE was a period of religious and philosophical upheaval in India. The Vedic orthodoxy had become complex and ritualistic. New movements like Jainism and Buddhism offered liberation without dependence on priests or sacrifice. Urbanization and trade led to new social dynamics. Challenging caste hierarchies, kings and merchants began to patronize ascetics and thinkers who preached morality, simplicity, and inner realization. In this vibrant spiritual ecosystem, Mahavira's voice stood out for its uncompromising emphasis on ahimsa, renunciation, and self-discipline. Part 2. Early life of Vardhamana Mahavira. 2.1. Birth and lineage. Vardhamana, later known as Mahavira, was born in Kundagrama, modern-day Kundalpur near Vaishali, Bihar, in 599 BCE, according to Svetambara tradition. Digambara texts cite 540 BCE. He was born into the Ikshvaku dynasty, a royal Kshatriya family. His father, Siddhartha, was the chief of the Naya clan, and his mother, Trishala, was a princess from the Lichavi clan of Vaishali. This noble birth afforded Vardhamana education, resources, and a strong social position. According to Jain tradition, his birth was accompanied by auspicious signs, and it is said that the gods rejoiced in anticipation of his future enlightenment. 2. Meaning of the name Vardhamana. The name Vardhamana means one who grows or prospers. It reflected both the material prosperity of his family and the spiritual greatness he was destined to achieve. 2.3 Childhood and education. From an early age, Vardhamana showed signs of extraordinary courage and fearlessness, a contemplative nature and compassion for all beings, sharp intelligence and clarity in discussions. Jain texts describe many stories where he demonstrated bravery, including taming a wild snake or confronting a terrifying demon, symbolic tales of his inner strength and calm. He was well versed in various arts, languages, logic, and warfare, a well-rounded education typical of Kshatriya princes of the time. 2.4 Marriage and family life. According to the Svetambara tradition, Vardhamana married Yashoda, a noblewoman of great virtue. They had a daughter named Priyadarshana, who would later become an important lay follower. However, Digambara Jains believe Mahavira remained celibate from birth, emphasizing his lifelong detachment from worldly pleasures. Despite these differences, both traditions agree that Vardhamana's disinterest in material life gradually deepened toward the call to renunciation. By the time he turned 30, Vardhamana felt an intense longing for moksha, liberation. The comforts of palace life, the prestige of family, and the duties of a householder could not distract him from his quest for truth and freedom from rebirth. With his family's consent, especially his elder brother Nandivardhana, and after fulfilling his duties, he renounced the world. In a profound act of renunciation, he shed his royal garments and ornaments, his family ties and titles, all possessions and expectations. He took a vow of absolute non-violence and became a wandering ascetic, determined to seek Keval Jnana, perfect knowledge. 2.6. The path of an ascetic. From this point on, Vardhamana would become a shramana, a seeker who practiced extreme self-discipline. His journey of renunciation would not only transform his life but inspire millions over millennia. He was now Mahavira, the great hero, not just in title but in spiritual resolve. Part 3. Renunciation and the Path to Keval Jnana, Omniscience. 3.1. The Great Renunciation. At the age of 30, Vardhamana left his royal home and embarked on the austere path of tapasya, penance, and self-purification. This moment, known as the Mahabiniskramana, or Great Renunciation, marked the beginning of his journey from worldly bondage to spiritual liberation. He removed all ornaments and clothes, pulled out his hair in 5 handfuls, a sign of total renunciation in Jain tradition, and embraced the life of a Digambara, sky-clad monk, symbolizing his complete detachment from material life. 3.2. The life of an ascetic. For the next 12 years, Mahavira wandered barefoot across the plains of North India, facing extreme physical hardship, mockery, violence, and misunderstanding from common people. Severe weather conditions, from scorching summers to chilling winters, fasting, sometimes for months at a time. Complete silence, mauna, speaking only when absolutely necessary. He avoided all forms of harm, walking carefully to avoid stepping on insects, filtering water, and even avoiding contact with growing plants. His vow of ahimsa, non-violence, was so strict that he wouldn't even breathe in tiny life forms unintentionally. 3.3. The Quest for Truth. During this period, Mahavira practiced intense meditation, self-denial, and reflection on the nature of the soul and reality. He detached himself from pain and pleasure, praise and insult, heat and cold, constantly focusing inward to conquer the passions, kashayas, of anger, pride, deceit, and greed. He realized that liberation, moksha, could be attained only through right knowledge, samyak jnana, right faith, samyak darshana, right conduct, samyak charitra. These 3 jewels, Ratnatraya, became the essence of Jain philosophy. 3. Kratra Keval Jnana, the attainment of omniscience. After 12 long years of austere practice under a sal tree near Jumbika Grama, Mahavira attained Keval Jnana, omniscience, at the age of 42. He became a Kevalan, a soul that has completely annihilated karma and possesses infinite knowledge, jhana, perception, darshana, bliss, sukha, energy, virya. From that moment onward, Mahavira no longer experienced karmic bondage. He was now a Jina, the conqueror of inner enemies, and the 24th Tirthankara, teacher of the Jain path in this time cycle. 3.5. The role of a Tirthankara. As a Tirthankara, Mahavira's role was not only to teach but to re-establish the Jain Sangha, a 4-fold community consisting of monks, shramanas, nuns, shramans, laymen, shravakas, laywomen, shravikas. He traveled across northern India for the next 30 years, spreading his teachings to thousands, kings and peasants, nobles and outcasts, monks and householders. 3.6. Final enlightenment and teaching. Mahavira taught that every soul is divine and can attain liberation. Non-violence is the supreme religion. Truth, non-attachment, and self-discipline are essential for spiritual progress. Karma is real, and liberation comes from ending karmic accumulation. His discourses, pravachans, were delivered in Ardhamagada Prakrit, making them accessible to the common people.